Factory.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him, inside and outside.
Alright, so it's January 25th, 2018. Just weighed in at 191.6. Alright, what's up? It is 3:30 and I just got to work like half an hour ago and I'm breaking my fast. I haven't eaten since last night around 9 o'clock. I had 2 turkey hot dogs covered with bacon. So yeah, this is my breakfast. We just got 1 head of romaine lettuce with some mixed cheese. Probably about like 1/8 of a cup mixed cheese, really light on the blue cheese dressing, salt and pepper, and a little dill relish. So yeah, that's breakfast. I'm gonna post the macros of that, of what that is, so you'll see. Basically, my approach, what I've been talking about, is hitting plateaus while you're doing the ketogenic diet. The calorie in, calorie out thing does actually apply to keto. So yeah, that's some bad news for some people. It's bad news for me because for a long time I thought this diet was like magic, where as long as you kept your carbs to a certain level and your protein to a certain level, you could eat as much fat as you wanted and still lose weight. And for a while that was the case with me, but now that I've gone from 265, I'm currently at 191. But yeah, I actually for a minute gained weight on keto. Now I'm back. I went back to strict keto, doing my macros, and the weight wasn't coming off. So I was freaking out about that. And what I've discovered is that there's a possibility, just a possibility, that I'm eating too much fat. With my recommended calories for my BMI and the goal weight I want to get to, 165, my caloric intake is like 2,200 calories, which equates to like 180 grams of fat a day. To make my macros 80, 15, 5, but I'm cutting that out now. I'm going to depend on the fact of my body's going to utilize its own body fat, right? So I'm getting just as much energy from fat by cutting my fat, but it's going to come from my body. Mostly all my energy I've been taking has obviously been coming from my diet, and my body has stopped utilizing its own fat store. So I'm going to pull the fat back in my diet, and so my calories are going to go down. I'm keeping my carbs exactly where they're at. I'm keeping my protein between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. But I'm going to cut some of the fat. I'm going to stop doing ketogenic coffee. I'm going to stop doing like fat bombs. I'm going to stop slathering my salads and dressing. All the things that I was doing to get my macros up to 80. So yeah, this is day 2 of that, and I'm going to start tracking every meal, show you what I'm doing. Alright, so here is my breakfast entry. I've got 2 cups of chopped romaine, a 1/4 cup of 4 cheese Mexican cheese, 2 tablespoons of dill relish, and 2 tablespoons of chunky blue cheese dressing. So that brings me for the day macros to 74% fat, 16% protein, and 10% carbohydrates, for a total calorie intake of 245 so far. Alright. And it is 3:45, and that actually filled me up, believe it or not. What's up? So I'm still at work. It's about 8:30 p.m. And I'm hungry again, so I'm gonna eat. So let me show you what I'm working with here. This is a big ass salad. As you can see by the size of my hand, it's a big salad. What I have in there is I've got 1 head of romaine. I've got 4 slices of pepper jack, 1 can of Kirkland chicken, 12.5 ounces with the juice and everything, 2 tablespoons of blue cheese dressing and 1 tablespoon of sriracha. To that I added some salt and pepper, and that's dinner. All right. What's up, people? So yeah, here's a concept that I got to get out there, and this is pretty much why I started making this video in the first place, is because I wanted to talk about this concept. It's the concept of what I like to call the 4th macro. What? Yeah, the 4th macro. All right. All right. So what we're talking about here is the fact that your body fat, this 4th macro, is capable of giving you at least 155 grams worth of fat of energy a day, if not more. Okay, and this is backed up by Dr. Stephen Finney and Jeff Volek, both PhDs, who are like the godfathers of this whole keto thing. And so the point I'm trying to make to you is that you are on a plateau and you are stalling in your weight loss, and you don't know why, and you're blaming it on dairy or blaming it on whatever, but you are fitting your macros and say you are taking in 2,800 calories a day. If you're following the macros, you would be taking in 35 grams of carbohydrates, and that would be 5% of 2,800. You'd be taking in 140 grams of protein. That would be 20% of 2,800. And then you would be taking in, to fill up the other 75% of those 2,800 calories with fat, 233 grams of fat a day is what 75-25 macros look like if you're filling it with fat. Now, if you are trying to maintain, that's perfect. That's fine. Eat all that fat. But if you want to lose body fat, trust in the state of ketosis. Trust in your keto adaptation, and which means your body's ability to break down fat into ketones without having any dietary fat. Trust in that process. You only need, in this, if you were to follow this, 25% of 2,800 breaks down to only 77 grams of fat a day. You're still getting the 140 grams of protein. You're still getting less than 50 grams of carbs. So your macros with protein and carbs are set. But your fat intake is low, and everyone's going to panic. Oh, you need to eat some fat bombs. Put more butter in your coffee so you can fit your macros. You don't need to worry about your macros. You just need to make sure that your carbs are less than 50 and your protein is adequate. Adequate being anywhere from 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. You can go onto a BMI calculator and find out an estimate, a really close level of your lean body mass. So anyways, I don't know if this has been helpful at all, but this was revelatory to me. Like, this is a revelation to me when I saw this. Like, I realized that that's why I'm stalling. I'm eating way too much fat. I don't need to. My body, at first, when it hormonally adjusted to the keto diet, no matter how much fat I was putting in, it was shedding fat. But I don't know if it's a safety, survival mechanism or what, but it just kind of slowed down, okay? So in order to kickstart my body into losing these final 10 to 15% body fat, I gotta pull way back on my calories, and I'm gonna pull those calories from the fat. That is not going to alter my state of ketosis. My levels of protein and carbohydrates will be well within the range for a ketogenic macro state. All right, I will be fine. I will be in ketosis, but I'm just going to be cutting out 50% of the calories. All right, does that make any sense? I hope so. All right, man, that's pretty much all I got for this video. I'm going to keep, I know this is kind of pretty confusing. I'm kind of even just like trying to speak it, even trying to like formulate these ideas the way what I see in my mind to get it out there, because I've never heard this concept before, except in one of Finney's lectures, and it was like only about like about a 10-second little blip, and then it was over. But this was never really readdressed, so I really want to dig into this, and I really want to I want you guys to leave some comments. All right, like please subscribe if you haven't already, like the video or dislike it, whichever. Leave some comments if you think I'm full of shit or whatever. Let's just talk about this thing. I want feedback from other people if they think that possibly, you know, like lowering fat while on a ketogenic diet isn't actually heresy. Okay, maybe it's what people who are in it to lose fat need to do. Okay, if you are already in shape and you're just doing it for one of the other many benefits of the ketogenic diet, and you're not worried about fat loss, then by any means eat all of that fat that you need. Okay, but I think that for optimal fat loss, we just need to cut some fat but still be in ketosis. It is possible. Alright, so I'm just going to show you guys what I ate today. This is everything I ate, and I'm not lying. This is completely honest. I tracked every single thing. That's the great thing about being keto adapted, is that your hunger goes way down. So I'm playing with my hunger and seeing how far I can take it so that I can lower my fat intake. But anyways, so my breakfast, I had some romaine, Mexican cheese, dill relish, chunky blue cheese dressing. That was just a plain salad for dinner, which, by the way, at the time is 9:15, and I still got this left over. So I am not going to eat again for today. I'm going to finish up that salad though, and then I will be good. I will not ingest anything else after that. So what I showed you earlier, canned chicken breast, pepper jack slices, sriracha. So totals only 1,030 calories. All right, that's cool. Let's look at the macros on it. Macros. I only got 47% fat, 41% protein, and 12% carbohydrates. So normally if you were looking at that and you were like, oh shit, I'm way off on my macros, that is not a ketogenic macro right there. That is not even close. Your protein is way too high. You got 41% of your fat going on. But let's look at it. I only had 29 grams of carbohydrates. I only had 53 grams of fat. I had 103 grams of protein, so I'm hitting my protein spot on. It's perfect, alright? The only thing that is lower is my fat. Alright? Only 53 grams of fat. And that is so low because I am counting on the fourth macro, my own body fat. Trust and believe that the other, say, 150 grams of fat that my body will need is seeking, that I did not give it through these nutrients, it will take from the fourth macro, my own body fat, because I am keto adapted. Trust and believe. I worked out for about 3 hours today. 3 hours, like insane in the gym, going hard, alright? My energy level is through the roof. Still, it's 9:15, alright? You don't need that much fat. You do not need that much fat if you have the stored body fat to tap into and you're keto adapted. Trust and believe that.